Hi besties and welcome back to my trash channel Huffing with Anger Face. This is part 11 of my Sakuatsu and I think it's going to be ending soon, face with hand over mouth and rosy cheeks. So please leave any storylines you would like to see in the comments. Kissing face with open eyes. Gaze on with the video distraught face. Upward turned hand gesturing with fingers pinched together. Stuck with you. Part 11. 7 p.m. It has been around 2 hours since Komori arrived. Since then, Sakusa had explained to him exactly what had happened with his dad and how he had punched Atsumu. And something about important news. Komori simply apologized for not being there and eventually left 30 minutes later, saying about alone time, woozy face with uneven eyes and wavy mouth. Before leaving. Ever since then, Sakusa was just sat on his sofa watching whatever and Atsumu was still asleep in Sakusa's room. 7:15 p.m. Atsumu woke up in an unfamiliar bedroom, so he quickly shot up before realizing that he was in Sakusa's apartment and slowly laying back down. He grabbed the bed covers before shoving his face into them, his cheeks becoming a little pink. He breathed lightly and bit his lip, trying to suppress his very evident blush before removing his face from the covers and sitting up. He could hear a TV playing in another room which he assumed was Sakusa, so he quickly shuffled out of Sakusa's bed and made his way out of the room. "Hey Omi," Atsumu said once he saw Sakusa sat down on sofa. His voice was deep and raspy and his eyes were still half closed. "Evening Achu." "Evening," Atsumu asked, walking closer to where Sakusa was sat. "What time is it?" Sakusa smiled at the sound of Atsumu's morning voice even though it was evening. Atsumu leaned over the side of the sofa and faced Sakusa. 7:20 p.m. "What? Already?" Distraught face. "I'll have to go at 8. Distraught face. "My coach sets off at 8:30 and I don't want to be late." Sad Atsumu noises. "Oh." Sakusa's tone saddened a little. He didn't want Atsumu to leave yet. "But Omi, don't think you're off the hook. I expect you to reply to my messages all the time." Sakusa chuckled and the older boy started to walk round the sofa and threw himself on it next to Sakusa. "Omi, what cha watching?" Sakusa turned to look at the TV and then back at Atsumu. The TV was playing some random video it had auto-played onto from YouTube. "Honestly no clue." "Oh. Where's Komori by the way? Didn't you say that he would be here?" He did come here but he left like 40 minutes ago-ish. Something about helping coach pack stuff up." He obviously lied. He didn't want Atsumu knowing that the real reason was for them to be alone. "I see. Shouldn't you help by packing up then?" No. Why not?" Atsumu laughed. "Because I don't want to. I'll help once you leave." Atsumu shook his head and started to cross his legs. "I'm afraid you won't be able to do that, Omi-kun." "What? Why not?" Atsumu smirked. "I'm gonna FaceTime you as soon as I get on the coach. So you won't be able to celebrate that I'm gone." "I wouldn't do that anyways." "Why would I celebrate you going home?" Atsumu stared at the ceiling. "I don't know. You're clearly the type of person who likes to be alone. But I mean, who would celebrate this beautiful face leaving their side smirking face?" "I changed my mind. Get out of my apartment." Atsumu laughed again and Sakusa smiled. "I know you don't mean that, Omi. But just because I'm not gonna be right next to you like this week doesn't mean you're gonna get any more peace." Relieved face. Sakusa chuckled. "You're so dumb. Anyways, speaking of your beautiful face." Atsumu pouted. "Don't quote me like that. I am beautiful." Atsumu put his hands underneath his head showing off his face and Sakusa blushed slightly. "Either way, you have a massive bruise on the side of your face," Sakusa said, moving his hand to poke the blue eyes becoming darker by minute. "Ow. Do you mind? That hurts, Omi-kun." Sakusa smiled while closing his eyes and putting his hands on either side of Atsumu's face. He then opened his eyes to meet Atsumu's soft gaze staring back at him, smiling slightly. I guess you're not exactly ugly." Atsumu flicked his head back as he laughed, his head pointing at the ceiling. "See, I told cha Omi I'm so sparkles. Beautiful sparkles. Please, you're so childish." "I see, no problem. You can still stand to be in my company." Sakusa shook his head with a smile evident on his lips. "You're still dumb. Nothing's changed." Atsumu smiled before remembering something. Oh, we should go back to your school. I need to pack up all my stuff. Oh, okay. Let's go. Sakusa's tone saddens a little again as he stood up and walked to his bedroom to grab a hoodie. He started to put it on as he walked out his bedroom to meet Atsumu munching on some food he had found in the fridge. Make yourself at home, why don't you? Atsumu continued to eat whatever he had grabbed. You're ready. Atsumu said with a mouthful of food. Don't speak with your mouth full of food, idiot. Also, you don't know where that food has been. It could have gone off or whatever. Atsumu turned to look at Sakusa. He had a smirk on his face. Germophobia. Rotten food? They generally don't mix together. Sakusa rolled his eyes before replying. Whatever. Are you coming or not? No, I want to continue to eat all your food. Yay, well. I don't want you to. Leave my food alone. Distraught face. Distraught face. Yeah, mean Omi-kun. I wouldn't count not letting you eat all my food as being mean. Well, it is. Sakusa chuckled at the boy's childish acts as he walked closer to his front door. Are you coming or not? You're gonna miss your coach. Distraught face. Fine, I'm coming. Atsumu pouted as he grabbed one last thing out of Sakusa's fridge before following Sakusa out the door. When Atsumu got out of his apartment, Sakusa locked the door and put his keys in his pockets. They started to walk down the apartment block stairs and onto the street. From there, they walked shoulder to shoulder, Atsumu blabbering about nonsense and Sakusa pretending to listen. How do you not lose your voice? HAA. You talk a lot. So how don't you lose your voice? Atsumu laughed at the question. Well, unlike you, I actually like talking. Well, I never would be able to tell unamused face. Yeah, mean Omi-kun. I know. I thought we already established this neutral face. Distraught face. Atsumu pouted before remembering something again. Oh my god. Sakusa was shocked by the sudden shout. Holy shit. Be louder, why don't you, unamused face? Omi-kun. What am I going to do? I have no clue what you're on about. Atsumu pointed to the bruise on his cheek. What's Samu going to say when he sees this? He'll think you hurt me, distraught face. What do I say, Omi? Sakusa thought for a moment before replying. I don't see the point in lying to him. Why don't you just tell the truth? That my did hit you or whatever. Atsumu groaned. Why'd that bastard have to ruin my beautiful face? I'm hurt, huffing with anger face. Atsumu placed a hand onto his chest, making it seem like he was hurting. Sakusa leaned over to Atsumu's face and poked the bruise again. Ow. Omi, why'd you keep doing that? You said you were hurt. So. I was making sure it still hurt. Your logic is flawed, Omi, distraught face. Maybe. Sakusa looked away from Atsumu and faced the sky. Sakusa knew that he would miss Atsumu a lot when he left and didn't want him to leave quite yet. He wanted to be able to see Atsumu's face in person every day and not over FaceTime. Omi. 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 Sakusa's thoughts were cut off by Atsumu screaming his nickname over and over again. Oh my god, what? You keep spacing out, Omi, Omi. Oh. Oops. Oops. Yeah, so dumb, Omi-kun. Atsumu laughed and Sakusa only smiled in reply. The sound of Atsumu's laugh made his heart melt, and he wondered what would happen if he wasn't able to hear that laugh every day or see the bright smile of his. What would do if he wasn't able to see that cute pout he did when he didn't get his own way? Something was said that wasn't to his liking. Are we almost there, Omi-kun? You walked here with me earlier, idiot. It's not exactly a long walk. Why are you complaining? I'm not complaining. Huffing with anger face. I just forgot. Sakusa laughed and shook his head. Idiot. Sakusa whispered. Well, if you look right in front of you, you might see my skull. Grinning face with big eyes. OHH. Remember to use those eyes of your next time. Atsumu groaned. Shut up. Sakusa rolled his eyes and they started to walk back into the school's gym. They started to make their way up the stairs into the dorm hallways, and eventually, they arrived at Atsumu's room. Oh. There ain't as much stuff as I thought there was. Atsumu said as he walked over to the bag full of clothes and stuff he needed. He started to pick up the various things that were on the floor up and shoved them in his bag. They then walked over to his bed and started to make it neat and tidy. Eventually, Atsumu had finished packing all his stuff away and tidying the room and was sad on the bed. It seems we didn't need to come back this early. Atsumu checked the time on his phone. 8 p.m. I thought it was going to be a lot messier than what it actually was. I call that a symptom of stupidity. Shut up, Omi. At least my room was cleaner than everyone else's. Sakusa chuckled. That's because they're all pigs. Plus your room wasn't that clean. Don't be proud of yourself. Distraught face. Distraught face. Still, it wasn't that bad. Yeah, whatever. Sakusa started to walk over to the bed where Atsumu was sat, and sat down himself. What do you wanna do for the next 20 minutes or so? Sakusa mumbled. All he wanted to do was engulf Atsumu in a hug for the last few minutes they would spend together, but he wouldn't say that, because it would come across as weird in his eyes. I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. That why I asked you, distraught face. Well, I don't know either. Person standing. There was a moment of silence before Atsumu spoke up. You know, I am gonna miss you. Atsumu's cheeks were slightly pinker. He spoke. Sakusa smiled, happy to know that he wasn't the only one feeling that way. I'll miss you too, Mia. Atsumu looked at Sakusa pouting. You're not going back to calling me Mia. That isn't me. Sakusa chuckled, realizing that the first thing he said went right over Atsumu's head. Alright, fine then. I'll miss you too, Achu. Atsumu's cheeks went slightly more pink, and the same could be said for Sakusa. You better do, idiot. Sakusa smiled before remembering something. Didn't say goodbye to your other friends? Atsumu thought for a moment until realization hit him. OMG, you're right, Skush. They've already gone home by now, distraught face. I was asleep. You should have woken me up. Sakusa turned to look at Atsumu with an unamused expression. Oh, so this is my fault now? Not my fault you fell asleep. Yeah, but you could have woken me up. I didn't know what time your friends were leaving. Their voices raised by each sentence. Still your fault. If you told me what time your friends were leaving, maybe I would have woken you up. Distraught face. Distraught face. Whatever. They probably won't mind too much. I can always see them another time. They don't live too far away, Sue. Sakusa shook his head. You're ridiculous. Maybe. Atsumu smiled while looking deep into Sakusa's black eyes. What's the time, Omi? Sakusa slowly picked up his phone, not wanting to check the time because he didn't want Atsumu to leave just yet. He silently hoped that it was still early, but knew it probably wasn't. 8:15. It's 8:15 p.m. No, I've got to go that soon. 15 minutes. No. All of a sudden Atsumu's phone pinged as a message popped up on his lock screen. New message from a nigiri lover, rice ball. Drooling face. Oh, I idiot. Where are you? Make sure you're downstairs in at least 10 minutes, unamused face. Atsumu frowned at the message. I take that back, 10 minutes. Sakusa could hear Atsumu's tone sadden. And he himself probably felt the same way Atsumu did, not wanting to go just yet. Omi, give me a hug. Despite feeling sad, Atsumu was still holding a smile up, which forced Sakusa to form one too. Alright. Atsumu opened his arms and waited for Sakusa to fall into them, but he didn't. Omi. Sakusa's head was hung low and Atsumu couldn't see his face. Omi, you okay? Atsumu moved some of Sakusa's hair out of the way of his face, in an attempt to see his face. Omi, we don't have all day. Come on, give me a hug. Without looking up, Sakusa quickly forced himself over to Atsumu, engulfing him in a tight hug. Atsumu hugged back quickly, even though he was surprised. Omi. Atsumu could hear the sound of quiet sniffles coming from Sakusa that broke his heart, and his own eyes started to get glossy. Hey, it's okay, Omi. We'll get to see each other as soon as we can, okay? Dumbass. Sakusa made a small laugh through the tears falling down off his cheeks, and Atsumu smiled as his own tears started to fall. I'm gonna miss you a lot, but then again I don't think I'm going to get a break from you anyways. Just so you know. Sakusa voice cracked. I'll be expecting those FaceTimes. Atsumu squeezed Sakusa tight and buried his head into his shoulder. Like I said, don't you worry, you haven't seen the last of me yet. I'll be messaging you every day. And if you don't reply, expect a whole lot of spam messages. Both of their cheeks started to heat up. Neither wanted to let go from each other. I'll hold you to that. Sakusa smiled slightly, as he picked up his phone to check the time. 8:20. Atsumu hummed into Sakusa's shoulder. Thank you for giving me a chance, Omi. Sakusa smiled a little more. I don't think I had a choice anyways. Atsumu laughed and Sakusa started to move back to face Atsumu. He used his two thumbs to wipe away the tears falling down Atsumu's face. You look better when you don't cry. Stop it. Atsumu smiled and laughed. Says Omi. You don't look very appealing with tears rolling down your face. Sakusa smiled. I don't think I looked appealing anyways. Atsumu shook his head. You can think that. But it isn't true. Sakusa smirked. What the? Are you calling me hot? Shut up. ... What time is it? Sakusa reluctantly picked up his phone again and checking the time. ... 8:23. ... Atsumu bit his own lip before standing up and pulling his backpack over his shoulders. He started to walk over to the door, gesturing for Sakusa to follow, and Sakusa did. They both stood face to face in front of the door. Neither wanted to open the door. 8:24. Atsumu couldn't hold himself back again, so he quickly pulled Sakusa back into a tight embrace. They stayed like that for a few moments, just hoping that time stands still for them. 8:25. Fuck. ... I've got to go, Omi. Atsumu reluctantly opened the door, still being held by Sakusa. Omi, you gotta let go. Sakusa frowned as he let go of Atsumu. The loss of his warmth made him more upset. Sire Omi. I'll FaceTime you when I'm on the coach, okay? Sakusa smiled. Alright. And Atsumu smiled back. Atsumu then walked out of the room, Sakusa following being him as Atsumu started to walk away. Atsumu's head was hung low and he was biting his lip. He turned back for a moment, only to see Sakusa with teary eyes staring at him with a small smile on his face. He smiled back at him again before waving. Sakusa waved back. Slowly Atsumu started to disappear into the stairs until he wasn't visible at all anymore. Sakusa tried to hold a smile as he pulled out his phone out of his pocket, turning it on. Sakusa's phone. Kyo face with medical mask. Has changed their name to Omi face with medical mask. Volleyball. End of part 11. Hey besties, hope you enjoyed the video. 2 hearts. Also, I would like to say that I am a guy, and if you have a problem with it you can suck my left toe smiling face. Also, I don't know how often I'm gonna be posting because I have school starting from tomorrow, but I'm gonna try and keep it daily face with rolling eyes. Anyways, bye besties.